Today's video is sponsored by Anker. Hey everybody, welcome back to Jimmy's Promo, and today we'll be talking about some very powerful wall chargers and charging cables from Anker. Now the first one that we'll talk about today is the Anker Nano. Now the thing I love the most about the Anker Nano is that it's super small, it's compact, and very powerful. Now this thing does not weigh more than a AA battery. It's pretty much the same size as a quarter. Each side, the length is just a little bit over 1 inch. And when you compare it versus the original iPhone charging brick, so these are the bricks that used to be in the boxes of the Apple iPhones, this one is, again, the exact same size, but only charging at 5 watts, which means if you owned an Apple iPhone device, you're charging from 0 to 17% in about 30 minutes. Now with this brand new Anker Nano, you're able to charge with 20 watts and it gets you all the way from 0 to 53% in about 30 minutes of charge. So super powerful, and it also takes all of the charging standards into one device. So no matter which phone you have, if you have, a Google device, if you have a OnePlus device, if you have an Apple device, a Samsung device, if you charge with fast charging, rapid charging, quick charging, this one does take all of those standards into one, but it is also the power delivery protocol. So this way it's looking at exactly which device you have and how much wattage to push through with that device. But not only that phone, but it's looking at if you're charging it with watches, with headphones, with iPads, or also just your larger cell phones. So we'll talk a little bit more about this and we'll get a little bit more in depth here in just a second. I also want to talk about the second wall charger that we'll be talking about. Now this one is the Anker 60 watt dual port. So if you have multiple, maybe iMacs, or if you have Google Chromebooks or multiple iPads or tablets, now this is going to be the one that you can take a look at, because each port is able to have a maximum of 60 watts each. So let's say that you have two 12-inch MacBooks, then you're able to charge both of them with the full 60 watts, and it'll take 2 hours to charge, or at least in my case, I own the Google Pixelbook Go, so this one has the same power wattage that the original brick came from inside of the box. But you have to remember, from here on out, a lot of companies might be taking out these charging bricks and cables of these boxes just to save a little bit of cash. So if you're looking for a brand new wall charger, something that's super powerful, it is a little bit bigger, taking up a little bit more space on your wall, but you have two ports upwards of 60 watts. And I'll get more in depth again of all the different PD deliveries of all of these ones with the different ranges of wattages. You'd be able to take a look at this 60 watt dual port, or you can take a look at this brand new Anker Nano if you're looking for something that's the exact same size as your wall socket. So when you take a look at this, I've plugged it into the wall and you can just see how small this is looking. If you plug something in, if you have two of these or one of these, or if you have a really large plug in there or a little light, then sometimes you might want to have something very small and compact. If you use power strips and you're always charging a bunch of different devices and you feel that, with all these other chargers out there that are just a little bit larger, and it's taking up a lot more room and it's really hard to charge things on maybe even a power strip or on the two outlet on your wall, then this right here is not going to get in the way of anything, and it actually looks really cool. So let's just talk a little bit more about what this Power IQ 3 is and just a little bit more of the specs and the standards. Now before we get inside of these specifics and the standards of both of these power bricks, let's talk a little bit about their power cables. So with this one over here, this one is the Power Line 2. This is a USB-C to USB-C. You can also get it as a USB-C to lightning cable if you want to, and it is a 6-foot cable. They do a really good job with making sure that all of the current is being passed, even though it is a longer length of 6 foot. And again, that is some of the power and the standards coming from these bricks as well. Now let's talk about this one over here. This one is the brand new nylon Type-C to Type-C or Type-C to lightning cable. Now again, this one is 6 foot, and the thing I like about this nylon strip, this nylon cord here, is that it's super durable. It has over 35,000 bends for the test. So if you're somebody who is very stressful with it, you're bending it, twisting it, you're doing all this type of stuff, you're really hard on your cables, you might want to take a look at this nylon here from Anker. Also, the ends are not plastic, so they're not going to break, and also it has a little bit of rubber area here. Sometimes I've seen some iPhone users, I haven't really seen it on Android, but I've seen it on iPhone users where they're cracked and broken and they're taping it and you can see the wires. So you're not going to get that with this one here. So you have this rubber area to make sure you have a good good give when you are kind of bending it at the source. These ones are also made of metal, so they're not going to break. They're not made of plastic. And then this nylon here is just really good with the bend test of over 35,000 bends. Now, if you are interested in the Anker 60-watt dual port charger or the Anker Nano or any of these charging cables, I will be placing the links of all of these below the video inside of the description. So moving all of these out of the way, let's just move these power cables to the very top. So getting a closer look at both of these charging bricks, we'll first take a look and talk about the larger one, the 60-watt dual port charger from Anker. Then we'll talk about the most important power brick here in today's video. So taking a look at this one here, this one's going to be really good if you have a couple different MacBooks, iPads, cell phones, things like that, because each of these Type-C ports is able to put out a max wattage of 60 watts. And again, that is 60 watts each from each port. Now, because of the Power IQ 3 and the power delivery protocols, you're able to charge either your cell phones, tablets, MacBooks, Chromebooks, things like that. It's able to pick up and choose and find what you're charging and then putting out the amount of wattage that is needed and not overpowering or overcharging your device. So for example, if you plug in a phone or a tablet or a Chromebook or a MacBook, it'll be able to choose from 4 different protocols or 4 different wattage from each port. So the first one that's able to do is a 12-watt charge. It can also do a 27-watt, 45 watt, and 60 watt. Now talking about the hero of today's show, the Anker Nano. Now this thing is super small and compact, and how they were able to get this done is that their technology is a stacked design with custom magnetic components to get it so small and powerful as well as safe. And again, that Power IQ 3, what this is, it's a proprietary technology that identifies your device and the quickest possible charge. Now this one, because it does have the quick charge capabilities, the power delivery and everything else, the 2 different charging standards for this one in terms of the speed is going to be the 5 volt at 3 amps, which is giving you 15 watts, as well as the 9 volt 2.22 amps, which gives you that 20 watt charge. So again, if you have a phone that says fast charging, if you have one that says quick charge, if you have one that says rapid charge, this is going to show all of those standards on your screen when you charge it. Apple, I don't believe they actually say anything, but when it comes down to charging your Apple device versus the original, plug that came with their phones, again, this one would only charge it up to 17% after 30 minutes charge. But when it comes down to this 20 watt right here, it's going to be a 3 times fast charger, which is going to be giving you about 53% after 30 minutes. So at this point, let's unbox this because I have to show you the packaging here. If I didn't show you any of this, it would just be a disservice to Anker because this is phenomenal. Now, I'm not really used to opening anything on this channel that has the word iPhone on the packaging, but again, this charger right here is good with everything. Charge everything faster. So a little card inside of here letting us know everything it's able to charge. So here is our 2-port 60-watt charger right here. So again, each of these ports is able to push out 60 watts. And then you also have your Anker Nano. Again, this is the hero of today's show. This thing is super powerful, super tiny. Again, it's literally the exact same size as Apple, the original plug right here. So with it being the exact same size in almost every single dimension, the thing I love about it is that this one over here from Anker is able to push out upwards of 20 watts. And this one over here, which is the original Apple plug, is only able to push out 5. So make sure you take a good look right here because soon this old Apple original charger will be out of existence with this brand new Anker Nano in your wall outlet. Now taking a look at the cables here, we have both and all of the different options that you'd be able to take a look at. You'd have Type-C to Lightning cable, or you'd be able to have Type-C to Type-C. This one is the nylon cable. Again, it's 6 feet long. It has a bend rating of 35,000 bends, so you don't have to worry about anything that you do with any of these cables. Definitely goes through with all of the stress levels that you put through it. And then here is the cable that everybody's usually used to. It is definitely constructed. It is super strong. The ends are going to be metal. Again, this one is the Type-C to Type-C, and again, also 6 feet. And then one last thing I did want to mention is that I did charge my Chromebook today with this charger. And so when I plugged in the original charger from the box that came with the Pixelbook Go, is that I had 35% on my Chromebook and it said that there was about 55 minutes to full charge. Then I plugged it into this one, the exact same thing, 55 minutes until the full charge. And then also with this one really fast, you are able to take this off and you have the compatible different adapters for this for the EU, the UK, and the United States. So that's pretty much it for today's video, and a huge thank you to everybody who is watching, and a special thank you to today's sponsor, which is Anker, for sending out the charging bricks as well as the charging cables. Now, when it came down to charging everything in my house, from my Chromebooks to the tablets to the cell phones to the watches to the earbuds to everything, I tried not to do wireless charging. I wanted everything to be plugged into these products because I am actually a huge fan of Anker. I have a lot of things connected on my laptop that's Anker as well. So the Anker Nano, this thing is super powerful. It's compact. It can charge your iPhone 3 times faster at 15 watts versus that original power brick that's in the box that's only 5 watts. They're the same size, but 3 times more powerful, but upwards of 20 watts for any other device out there for that rapid charge, quick charge, and super fast charging. And then also when it comes down to this larger 60 watt dual port, this one really came in clutch when I had to plug in my Chromebook and tablet at the exact same time. But other than that, these things are pretty cool. I'm gonna place all the links below the video inside the description if you guys are interested. Again, you also have a 6-foot Powerline 2 charging cable here, and the 6-foot nylon that is super durable with metal on the tips, rubber right there, so it's not gonna, get frayed out of all the wires, and nylon that has a bend test of over 35,000 bends. Again, if you're super hard on your cables, you might want to take a look at this one here. But I hope you guys have liked this video. If you guys did, please give this thing a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe on the very bottom left hand side. And if you like this video, then more than likely you'll also like this video. And I'll see you guys later.